Hey guys, this is Chuck Barnes. What to do in Eureka Springs? My wife and I went up there for our anniversary. We hadn't been there in about 3 years, and we wanted to experience what had changed and what's going on. We did quite a few things over the 4 days that we were up there, and I'd like to share them with you. If you're interested, stay tuned. When we first got into town, we stayed at the Paradiso Vacation Rentals. We chose a spot through Airbnb that was close to downtown because our goal was to be able to walk downtown, not fight to try to find parking, and do some shopping, get our normal things that we like to do when we're downtown. And that's why we chose this spot. This is within walking distance of downtown and everything that you want to do in the downtown area, so you don't have to fight with parking. We enjoyed this spot while we stayed there because, number one, it was quiet. If you see my cursor right here, we stayed in a spot right over here on this end of the facilities. And the road, the main street is right, runs this direction. So we could sit out there, watch people walking, watch people driving, and just sit out there and read our book and do whatever. When we first checked in, one thing that we noticed, the only thing I don't like about this place was the Wi-Fi was extremely slow. Here's a photograph of how slow the Wi-Fi was. It's slower than DSL was. So that was an issue. Downloading a book to your Kindle or iPhone to read over their Wi-Fi, it was not very fast at all. Don't rely on the Wi-Fi network in this facility. The second thing we noticed was the hot and cold waters were switched out in the kitchen. You would normally go to the left-hand faucet and turn on hot water. It was cold. You go to the right-hand faucet, turn on cold. It was hot. It took us a couple times to do that. And it was only like that in the kitchen. Another thing I didn't like is that one of the light bulbs was out next to the bed. No big deal. It's not a big deal for me for all this if you deal with it. But if you're going to go in there and spend this kind of money that you see right here, then you expect everything to be working. The atmosphere here was fantastic. Everything was clean. I didn't have any issues other than the ones that I just said. And I do recommend that if you want to get close to downtown, go to Ozark Mountain Vacation Rentals, get you a spot, or find something on Airbnb. That's what we did. After we got checked in, we went down and found a place to eat called Red's Pizzeria. It's a little hole-in-the-wall spot. Very, very nice. It's right off of Main Street, and it's within walking distance of where we were staying at. We couldn't find them on the web, but we did find their Facebook page, and this is their Facebook page. I'm going to go show you their menu real quick if I can find it, and I think it's in their photos. And there it is. This is their menu. They got hot subs, appetizers, and so on. So we ended up getting the cheese loaf. Awesome, melts in your mouth. I definitely recommend it. And then we ended up getting a 14-inch pizza. And there you can take your pizza, and if someone wants to be the meat enthusiast side, they can have that. And if someone wants to be some other white garlic pizza or whatever the case may be, then that's what you get. Here's a photo of what we got while we were there. The atmosphere is great. Food was fantabulous. I don't even know if that's a word. They came out and checked on you. There was no wait. It was a Friday night when we went in there, so we expected a long wait. But it was also kind of chilly that night. There wasn't a whole lot of folks walking and moving around. Anyway, I recommend Red's Pizzeria in Eureka Springs. Another thing we like to do when we go to Eureka Springs is we always go to Local Flavor Cafe. Every time we go there, we have never been disappointed. There might be a little bit of a wait if you get there at the wrong time to eat. But I'm going to tell you, whatever you go there for, the food is fantabulous. They take good care of you. Some of the things that we ate while we were there, just to let you know, is my wife picked out the baked brie for her lunch. And it's kind of on the starters menu, but that's what she chose, and it was fabulous. Here's a photograph of it. And then I myself chose the old bacon cheddar burger. Now, I don't know if these prices are accurate from the website, but this is currently from their website, so prices may change, but that's just, you never know how that is. And we always have the same dessert, and this is what we end up having. Here's a photograph of it, the chocolate lavender creme brulee. We always have that. We share it between the two of us because it's just fantastic. Another thing we like to do when we go to Eureka Springs is go to Keels Creek Winery. They have wine tasting. They have a great big shop of wine selection. It's just unbelievable. They got an art gallery. When you go through the wine tasting, they're personal with you and they talk about that particular wine that you're tasting. It's just a great experience. And if you're into wine tasting, go to Keels Creek Winery. Very good atmosphere. We went, there wasn't anybody else in there, but it was probably because it was cold outside. And we also went in late in the year. Anyway, I recommend Keels Creek Winery when you go to Eureka Springs. My wife and I wanted to try a new thing when we went to Eureka Springs, and we ended up showing up at the Sweet and Savory Cafe. We arrived there during breakfast time, and we wanted to check it out. The first thing I want to talk about when you pull up there, there's not a lot of parking in the front. You can't really, there's a lot of signage along the road too, but the signs, if you can slow down and read them, tell you that there's parking in the back. When we first drove by it, there wasn't parking in the front, so we were fixing to drive by. We turned around and came back by, and we saw the sign said parking in the back, but there was parking in the front. How much parking is in the back? I have no idea. We didn't make it back there. But always, there will be parking in the back. We stopped in and we had us some breakfast, and my wife had some quiche of the day, and I myself just had a regular old ham and cheese omelet, some big biscuits and gravy. The food here was fantastic. There was no waiting line. They took care of you. They kept your coffee full. Very personal. I would recommend go to the Sweet and Savory Cafe when you're in Eureka Springs. The Promised Land Zoo is in southern Missouri, just north of Eureka Springs, in a place called Eagle Rock. Can't miss the place. Actually, you could if you turn and you miss it. But the signs are great big. You can't miss it. One of the things that we like to do when we're there is go through the drive-through park, the petting zoo, and the parakeet paradise. When we arrived there was only 2 other folks. As you can see here, if you arrive during feeding time, you're going to get an awesome view of all the animals that are real close up to your vehicle. So this is what we saw when we arrived and did the drive-through part of the zoo while they were feeding. Awesome view of all the animals. Anyway, enough said with that. Then we went and did the petting zoo. They got a new animal this year that I don't know if it's been there before, but since I haven't been there in 3 years, they got a kangaroo family there now. Here's some pictures and video of my wife feeding the kangaroo. Another thing that we like to do is go inside and do the parakeet paradise. Here's some video of us feeding the parakeets. It's just awesome to go in there and do this. If you're into this kind of thing, then I would recommend going to the Promised Land Zoo. For me and my wife, you can stay in your vehicle, stay warm. It was kind of chilly, and still drive through. They give you cups of food when you drive through the park, and you can feed the deer as they come up to your car. It's just awesome, and I'm going to try to show some of that video of us feeding the deer. They were awful close, and the camera doesn't like to zoom back that far. Anyway, on to the next item. Another thing that we like to do when we go to Eureka Springs is go to the restaurant Ermilios Italian Home Cooking. There's only one problem going to this fantastic restaurant is they don't open till 5 p.m. in the evening, 7 days a week. They do not take reservations when you go there, so you have to get there and expect a little bit of a wait time before you are seated. Go here, sit and wait. The food is fantastic. The customer service is great. They take care of you. They keep your water full. They offer dessert. The dessert is fantastic. We actually had to take it home because we were fuller than we could eat anymore. Recommend that you go to Ermilios Italian Home Cooking, and their address is off of White Street in Eureka Springs. And that's my take on what to do in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Please share this with someone who is on their way or might be going. Just something to do. There is a lot more to do there than I covered. The shops there are fantastic. If you like this, subscribe, click the bell icon, share it with someone else. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you for your time.